Well, good morning and welcome to episode number 13 of Ball, Bucks, and Beards. I'm Jimbo Blackwell alongside Adam Epps, and we have our special guest Nathan Walk with us.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Dynamite drop in. Dynamite drop in. Yeah. Coach, you want to talk about last week's show? You usually don't, but
No, I don't. Not
Okay.
really. There's
No recap today?
how many views?
not a lot.
Well, like how?
I'd say 230-ish.
What are we shooting for?
Well, I mean, we're trying to go viral.
Yeah.
We're hundreds of thousands.
Today's the day.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're counting on you. So.
Yeah, we need some help. We need some help. And we got a sponsor, JDM Fitness.
Yep.
My daughter, Jasa, and she has these fitness things that Coach is going to tell you about here in just a second, and they work.
And can a man join the class?
Yeah.
Because I know it's a lot of women. I need to ask Jason. I probably should ask her already. Can a man join? Because I'm starting at this time of year. I'm starting to hate myself. You know, because I'm turning into a fat slob.
If you join that class, you know exactly what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think you should do one of the workouts on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I think that'd be a good. That would go viral.
Yeah, but you guys check out JDM Fitness. Her January class is from January 6th to the 24th. They're 30-minute workouts. You can do it pre-recorded or live. You don't need no equipment. And all fitness levels are welcome. So it says all. So
Yeah.
All three levels here: beginner, intermediate, and expert.
advanced, yes.
Well, my fitness, I'm sure, inspired her to do this.
yeah,
You know,
because
she
you were a
grew up-
fitness guru.
Yeah, she grew up with me.
Jimbo's about fitness donut in his mouth.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
This is starting out good.
Yeah. Okay, so our special guest is Nathan Walk, who is the principal and the assistant girls coach now at Greenville High School. Coached the boys at Greenville the last.
How long were you at Green?
Yeah.
This is I want to say my 9th year at Greenville. I spent the first 8 coaching the boys.
I knew you'd been there a while and had previous stops. I think, didn't you start out at Twin Rivers?
Was an assistant at Twin Rivers for 5 years, and then was at Holcomb for a year, and then Puxico for 2, and then Greenville for the last 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, here's a little bit of trivia. My first Greenville win was at the Current River Challenge against your Van Buren Bulldogs.
How about that?
Hey, he was coaching them?
He was coaching them.
Is that true?
That is true. 100%.
I don't believe that.
I threw my tie off and
thought we
football
all-
spiked it at half court because called time. I don't know if we want to talk about
Yeah,
this
go.
now.
Yeah,
Okay, so
bring that up.
Coach Epps scouted, played him before, run this box set for a back screen for a layup. I call timeout. I'm like, he's going to run this set. Do not get back screen. Had a freshman, pretty good player. Okay, coach. Okay, go in, run the box set.
It's box.
Box?
Yeah.
Yeah, run the box set. Shoots a layup. Call timeout. Rip my tie off on camera. Football spiked it. And then grabbed a kid by the jersey and slung him off the bench and threw him in. That was Greenville's first introduction to me as a head coach.
Yes.
I have since calmed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
but
I can't believe I lost. Are you sure I lost?
Positive. I know it hasn't happened
I know
much here.
I know we played.
There was a time when you would lose a game or two. Yeah.
I remember we played when you were at Puxico.
don't
I
talk
thought
about
twice.
that. In the Christmas tournament.
Yeah.
You had the pretty good kid that you ran. Basically, he was a decoy, and you guys just whooped us.
Yeah.
But I had some kids suspended. That's another story we can talk about.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
I've got some stuff lined up. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good.
Good.
Well, current events, Donettes. Sorry, Coach Walk, we got to talk about it.
I want to say,
I'm not saying a word.
I got a text
not saying a word
we
about
would
it.
not talk about it, but we can talk about it. Yeah. Y'all played well.
Well, we had a good week. Our JV won against Naylor, and then we beat you guys Tuesday night. So Donettes are 6-0, JV's 4-0, and headed into the Christmas tournament.
Poor JV just has to sit around for a while right now. I feel bad for those guys. No
It's
Christmas
tough.
tournament, and I mean they're going to be at practice over the break and all that, and then they won't play. I mean that's if Puxico has a JV, they'll get out there. But yeah, I'm playing pretty good right now. Had a little game this morning. little scrimmage game this morning. Brought some people in, and
You probably don't want to mention how that went,
no,
do you?
I don't want to mention how that went.
Yep.
But it's tough. It's tough for all JVs this time of year, just because they sit, and they sit at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the year tournaments, and it's hard for them to get work in and stay sharp, and it's hard for kids to stay motivated when all they got to look forward to is practice and getting yelled at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
true. And the longer that you're around girls basketball, I think the hardest thing to be as an athlete is a JV girls basketball player because nobody has a JV.
Yeah.
Nobody has a JV no more. So
Yep.
it's
tough.
I started picking up games even against some varsity teams or just like random shootouts for JV just so they can get some time in. But yeah, playing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you had 6 kids.
Yes.
So I got a little experience in that because when I was at Eminence, I would have 6 or 7. That's a challenge, isn't it?
Oh, it's
a
hard.
challenge in practice,
It's
isn't
definitely tough. We do a lot of skill development stuff. We'll break down into groups, guards and bigs, and we do a lot of full court shooting and try to incorporate a lot of full court drills, just to kind of get them running when they don't really realize they're running.
Right.
But, we really had to adjust our practice plans, and it's something you don't think about. We had 20 kids when we had the boys. Well, to get through a drill, it'll take you 15 minutes to get everybody 3 or 4 reps. Well, we're flying through this practice program or practice plan,
Yeah.
And everyone's getting 8 or 10 reps, and we're like,
Yeah.
I think that would
You
be
can't
the-
go.
crap,
You can't
now
go.
what,
You
you
can't
know?
practice 2 hours.
no, you can't. And it's hard. We're going about an hour and a half a day, but I mean, we've got our stuff that we want to hit, and we hit it, and we get out, and I feel like our girls are in decent shape.
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest challenge, though, because there was even some boys' teams. I think Coach Kelly was at Bunker, and I think he only had like 7 or 8 kids. I was like, how do you practice?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you got to bring if you're going to play, you got to bring in some kids.
Yes, and we do.
and you can't do that every day, though. I mean,
No.
We've got some junior high boys that are. I've tipped my cap to them. Coach Alexander calls them the paint team, like South Carolina. South Carolina
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
They come in 2 or 3 days a week, and
that's good.
it's been really really beneficial for us.
The Dons, big win last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
At, over East Carter. They're in the finals.
Playing Risco tonight.
Playing Risco tonight.
Yeah,
That'll be a tall task. That Smith kid's good.
Yeah,
for
we
Risco.
we watched a little film
Yes.
of them this
they
morning.
run a little
1-3-1.
1-3-1. We was talking about how to attack the 1-3-1. What do you like to do in 1-3-1?
Well, ideally, if you could, McBroom at Twin Rivers used to run this set a lot where they would screen that backside guy for the lob. You can run that. I always just try to overload one side of the floor.
Yeah.
And put
You have a baseline runner?
or even a baseline runner and a flasher, or we got to where we would run a box, kind of a half court box set, and then have guys have motion on the back end. I really think though, if you can screen either the top or the weak side, I think you can get whatever you want. But depending on who's running the 1-3-1, that's kind of tough
Yeah,
to
that's
do.
right.
at
And
times.
they look pretty dang long.
They are
when we-
long.
When we was watching today.
Yes.
But they played good last night. We was kind of worried about it because the first time they played East Carter, went to overtime.
Yeah.
And it was a close game. And I was like, well, it's hard to beat the same team consistently.
Hey, would you turn your phone off or your watch off?
Yeah, bless him. Hold on. There's some kind of yellow walkie-talkie mode. Haley's texting me about some kind. Hey, I'm videoing the podcast right now. Could you not message me?
What?
Bye. How you turn that? All right.
that's a little
That-
unprofessional.
I was
Yeah,
just
Go out
yeah.
on a limb there. I don't know much about podcasting.
I'm still learning this thing.
Yeah. I can't believe it might have
No,
your cell
you're not
phone
allowed
out.
to say a word. Not a word.
So boys are in Bloomfield after this.
Yep.
What'd they get seeded? I don't even know.
10th seed.
10th
They got the
seed?
10 seed. So,
What, East Carter's the 12, I believe. Is that right?
yep.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. And then next, of course, the Lady Rolls Classic starts tomorrow. And we got the 1 seed. What'd you guys get?
We got the 11.
So who do you have? Who
We
you got?
played Dexter.
Dexter.
So, it's Yeah, I mean, I like our chances.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm not going to come on here and lie.
Yeah.
I like our chances. I think if we execute what we're going to try to do, I think we'll have a chance to win.
Yep. There should be some good games.
There should be.
That 4 through like 12.
Pretty even,
Yeah,
I felt like.
I thought so
honestly.
too.
Yeah, it was really hard to seed, I
Yes.
thought.
Yeah.
And then this is our
By the
annual-
way, he's the one that has the agenda today because he stole my copy because I had to do everything for him and bring his copy up here too. So
Yeah, and
we're going straight off Jim. Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute. Alex Wiggs.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
I won't answer that. Shout out to Coach Wiggs. That's another team playing really well right now.
Yep.
They went last weekend and beat two top 10 teams, or maybe one was 11. They're playing well also.
You know that's unprofessional. We invite you over here. You didn't even get your
Hey,
phone
this
signed.
is my first podcast ever. You guys have been doing this. I think we're on episode 12.
13.
13,
Lucky
dadgone it.
13.
12 more than we thought we'd do.
That's right. That's right.
Everyone for us is just a bonus. It's just icing on the cake.
Yeah. So if y'all don't have nothing going on tonight, go out, watch the Dons playing the championship game at Clarkton. Be good to have a nice crowd over there.
That'll be a
Absolutely.
good night of basketball, too. That's a pretty competitive tournament, I feel like, this year. So
That's Clarkton's that's one of the first places I ever coached when I was at Naylor. I think that was our second game was at Clarkton.
Who was coaching? Who was at Clarkton?
Scotty Blackburn.
Really?
Was
oh,
it?
yes. I know Scotty B.
Yeah,
Very well.
Scotty Blackburn.
From Greenville,
Well,
He's
he was-
actually from Clarkton.
yeah.
but he was
Yes.
a
He was
lot of his
coaching-
career is at Greenville,
No.
principaling and
The last 5 or 6 years of his career was at Greenville.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He was actually
He coached the girls for a
Yes,
year there at
yes.
the end.
He,
I did not like playing against him because his 2-3 zone, go slow, take care of it, not turn it over.
Yeah.
Which if you don't turn it over, I struggle. So I did not like going against them.
Okay, so it's time for our annual State of the Don. This is our annual State of the Donettes.
First?
Coach Epps.
First annual?
No, no.
Oh,
no,
annual
no.
was in the podcast.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. State of the Donettes. Take
It's
over.
good. It's pretty good
Take
right
over.
now. We're trying to get better at half court defense, playing off the ball, and today looked a lot better.
Yeah,
you
it was-
know,
it was
instead
good
of
this
just
morning.
having people
Well-
chase after ball like JoJo time, they're doing that, and they're guarding screens well and cutters, and we've been working on that. And
It looked pretty good Tuesday.
this ain't got nothing to do with it. But we got some stepping up, and we've had 2 the past couple of days at practice that have just went to a different level. And if we can keep them like that, it's going to be trouble.
We had one this morning that really
Yeah.
stepped it up.
When she gets hit in the face like that, though, to start it, she's ready to play.
Well, somebody's going to have to hit her in the face.
Yeah. I'm on contract, so I still got to work.
Yeah. You're done? That's it?
I mean, what else you want me to say?
Well, big contribution there to that part of the show.
Well, we got
What,
the
about
Lady Royal
25
tournament
seconds?
coming up. I'm really
No, the
excited.
State of the Donettes.
Oh, well,
You talked for 25 seconds.
It's pretty good right now. We're not where we want to be. We're getting close.
Okay. Another dynamite drop in.
I'm sick of this.
All right. So Coach Walk,
Yes.
just tell us again, kind of give us a rundown of your coaching career, where you started. I think you already did that, but just
Yeah,
again.
I could give you all kinds of details.
You're
So,
just repeating and repeating and repeating.
Well, I'm having trouble reading my
Well,
script.
put your dang glasses
I don't
on.
have glasses.
So I was finishing up my last semester of college. I was at Missouri Baptist. Before that, I had taken about a year and a half off and worked for the conservation department in design and development, which is a
So
government term for construction.
Oh, okay.
So I was pouring concrete and building boat ramps.
Would you get off your cell phone?
I'm getting on mission to make sure he beat me. Could you tell me what year that was?
That would have been, oh man, I was 13, 14. 16, 17 season, I believe, was my first year there.
All right, go on.
All
Back
right,
to concrete.
so okay, so did that. I decided I wanted to go back to school and was finishing up my last semester, and and get a phone call from my from the real Coach Walk, as everyone in my family and friends like to say.
So
The real,
do you hear that a lot?
A lot, yes, a lot. So I got a phone call from the real Coach Walk, and he's like, "Hey, got a special ed aide opening, and we need an assistant basketball coach, and I think you need to apply." So I'm like, "Sounds good."
Yeah.
So went and got hired. Was fortunate enough to get hired at Twin Rivers, and spent 5 years there and loved it.
Who was the head coach then?
It was Rob Brown.
Rob
I was
Brown.
Rob's assistant.
Yeah.
I came in at the break and helped with at the Christmas tournament. Took a day off and got married.
Yeah.
And then right back to the grind.
Yeah.
And then so I helped Rob, and then when he left and went to Mountain View, I helped Coach Benson, Dustin Benson. And then I was actually was the assistant baseball coach, because, as you know, if you're an aide in public schools, you don't make any money.
Right.
I know.
So you got
It's
to,
not-
yeah.
that's
Won a
not
district
breaking news.
championship as a baseball coach, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Went to quarterfinal game as a baseball coach.
I think I seen something about that.
Yeah. What year was that?
That would have been 2012, 13 season, I believe.
Who was some of the kids you had there?
Would have been Michael Snyder, Blake Moore, Cade Lowe,
Okay.
Ryan
A student taught
Alexander.
those kids when
Did
they
you
were in
really?
junior high at Fisk.
Really?
And we would play basketball every day after.
Good group, really
Yeah.
good group of kids. Came in, competed, worked hard, couldn't ask anything.
Who beat you in the quarterfinals?
Oh, Valley Catholic.
Oh yeah.
We were up.
Catholics.
We were up 7-2 going into the 6th inning,
Oh.
and this kind of slipped through our fingers. We lost on a little a little hopper. Anyway, I think about
Did you
that
have a
thing.
mohawk then?
I did not have a mohawk. I had a full head of hair.
Okay.
It has since left, but at the time I had a full head of hair. So I
By the way, you're about to have to do something. Jimbo,
Just for
you're
men.
at a critical.
Yeah, I
You're at a critical.
tell
juncture.
him. I told Brett, and I tell him, you're at a critical juncture in your hair right now.
yeah.
You need to either shave it or go with the just for men, because if you let it go any longer, when you do just for men it, people will know.
It's not just for
I think-
minute. You of all people should know it's just for men, or does it just take a minute?
What?
You said it's just for minute.
Oh, did I? No, it's just for men.
Oh,
I feel like everyone would, if I just showed up with jet black hair, probably
Yeah.
everybody.
I wish
Yeah.
he would have got that memo. I wish he would have got that.
That was my.
By the way, there
That's
may
my
be,
true-
there
that's
may
my
be
true
a
hair
picture
color.
on the thumbnail today of Jimmy right after a recent Just
It
for
has-
Men dip.
It has never been proven that I use just for men. That
Yeah.
has never been proven.
Hey, wait till next week's thumbnail. I can't wait. I got the 2010 yearbook picture
Oh, yeah?
and the 2011 yearbook picture. Gray, jet black. I mean,
That's-
it don't change like it.
Yeah, nah.
But anyway, I'm the same way. But my wife likes that. She likes a little bit of the gray.
I just
stuff.
told her I'm not dyeing it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not dyeing it. I'm
What's
not
your wife
shaving
say
it.
about it?
She says she wants me to keep it short. It looks better. I look younger with short hair.
Got it.
That's about all I get out of it.
But
I'm
you-
sorry. I just was distracted.
You
We're
have-
on this hair
you
tangent now. But
You, of course, wear the pants in the relationship.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah.
As long as when she tells me to put them on.
Yeah, there you go.
So was at Twin Rivers 5 years. Decided I wanted to be a head coach. Applied at a few places. Got hired and fired in a span of 3 days in a special board meeting, which is another.
So you
story.
got hired and then fired in 3 days?
Yes. Yeah. Decided to go a different direction.
Yeah.
Superintendent's vision wasn't in line with the school board, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway,
Gotcha.
it worked out for the better.
Yeah.
Wound up getting a job at Holcomb. Stayed there for a year. Had some really good kids, but I was living in Poplar Bluff, and it was a 55-minute commute,
Yeah.
every day. And it just got to be too much. And then Puxico opened up and applied at Puxico and was there for 2 years. And then Coach Null at Greenville called me and asked me if I'd be interested in coming back home. I'm from Greenville and moved there, and I have to say it's probably the best decision for our family that I've ever made, because we took the girls the first year. Me and the girls went, and then my wife got hired the following year, and we've been there ever since.
Somebody asked if he was from Greenville, and I said, no, he's not from Greenville. He's, I didn't know where he's from.
Yeah.
I thought you was from that Flatland area.
No. Well,
So you are from Greenville.
it's kind of a funny story. I moved in with my dad my freshman year at Greenville, but before that, I lived with my mom and went to Scott Central. She taught at Scott Central. So my junior high basketball coach was Todd Porter.
Yes.
My 8th grade year. 7th grade year was Coach Cookson. 8th grade year was Coach
Coach
Porter.
Cook. Yeah,
Yes,
Coach
I
Cookson
did.
for a year.
Yes.
The
I
Coach
bet that-
Cookson?
Huh?
Ronnie?
Yes, the Coach Cookson.
yes.
All right, real quick, you got a Ronnie Cookson story?
Not any that I think I can tell on here. I was at 7th grade.
Yes.
And we were not any good. We were not the typical Scott Central team. We were not any good. And he comes in at halftime and calls us some of the worst names. I'm 100 pounds soaking wet, 13 years old.
Yes.
I don't even know the definitions of some of this stuff they're saying.
I heard him speak at a coaching clinic one time, and every other word was, like the worst thing, and I'm just like,
I'll tell you, I love him to death. There is not one thing he won't do for anybody. He'd give you the shirt off his back. I mean, he is a really, really good man.
yeah. But he had everybody rolling
he's funny.
the whole time. I mean, I don't even know if we talked about basketball.
Yeah.
But he did tell a story. He told a story about he's in practice, whatever, and I told this kid who's running something, I told him he had one more. He goes, oh, heck, I wasn't counting. I didn't know if he did or not. And the kid bolted up and said, I done ran it. And I picked him up by the throat and said, oh, you do got one more. And he ran it and never seen him again.
There's stories, they'd run a rebounding drill or do any kind of drill, and he'd make them run by him. And he'd have his paddle on stage. And if he didn't like how they did it, he'd slide them up as they walked by, and they never bat an eye.
So you've been around. You got something?
Well, I heard a story on Coach Cookson one time. I don't know if it's right or not, but he was coaching a junior high game, and they were up like 20 or 30 at half, but he was not happy with the way they played. So in the locker room, he said, all right, you starters, bend over. Played like crap. You're getting paddling. So he paddled them. And then he had like 9 kids on the team, I think, and he'd only played 5, the first 5. And so the other 4 were just standing there, and he goes, all right, you guys bend over. And one of them said, well, Coach, we didn't even play. And he said, I'm paddling you because you're not good enough to play. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have heard that.
So you've been around coaching a good while, the good part, the bad part, all that. And Coach Best used to say all the time, if you're going to be in this business, keep your bags packed. How do you think it's changed from the time that you wanted to get into it to now, if it has?
I think Facebook, as a social media in general, has given a lot of people a voice that don't necessarily need one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know we're with our kid. Well, I'm fortunate. I'm getting around my girls more, but we're around the basketball players more than we are our own families.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, you look at it too. I always try to keep it in perspective. Like, everybody loves their kids. Everybody wants to see their kids do, score 30 and get a triple-double and us win the game. In people's perspective when it comes to their kids can get skewed, and that's something that you have to keep in mind too. But I think, I think it's number one, social media. I mean, and you can tell even when I started, which has been a million years ago, Facebook was kind of a thing, but it wasn't really much of a thing, and it's just giving people a voice, and you've got to really watch everything you do now just to kind of keep your head down and keep a job. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like that. You should be allowed. You were hired to do a job. You should be allowed to do it.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of kept. First off, I don't know if I agree with everybody wants the team to win part thing in score 30, because some people
No, they don't.
they just, as long as
They want their kid to score. It's the and win. I want my kid to score 30, and if we win, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
and if and ain't in there, who
it's,
cares?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have kind of kept an eye on and kind of been a little partial to you, I guess, because I feel like you kind of got in at the same time I have
Yes.
and are still doing it, and not a lot of people are. I mean, minus
Right.
Jimmy. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been doing it 100 years. But not everybody
Well, and,
really can last.
Yeah.
and we went to the coaching clinic, this year in Columbia.
Yeah.
I walked in, and it looked like third hour a lecture at Columbia College. They were all kids. So I
Yeah.
don't know if all of a sudden I'm old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very, very eye opening to see the amount of just the old guys are. It's kind of the changing of the guard,
Yeah.
I guess, so to speak.
The first coaching interview I ever went to, I don't know, it was probably back in 1987 or 88. I think it was at Zalma. I was just out of school. I think I applied for a job at Zalma. And I
Bulldogs.
showed up, and there's 21 other applicants there
Yeah.
at a board meeting. 21. Now, sometimes, we don't have anybody apply.
No, that's right.
Hey, you want to coach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever played basketball? No. You got a teaching degree? No. You're hired.
It's
Yeah.
tough. I mean,
Yeah.
and you don't really think about it. I never really thought about it. I applied here and thought I had a really good interview,
I remember this.
and walked out, and Adam Carpenter's sitting in the next in line. I'm like, well, crap.
There went
You
that.
know? So but now, you're right. We hired Coach Crowley to take my spot, and I think we had 5 applicants.
Yeah.
And 3 interviews, and one of the guys we were supposed to interview never showed up. No
Yeah.
call, no show.
Yeah.
And that's at a program that's
on
the rise,
and that's
doing
what I
good.
thought. I didn't want to leave when necessarily the cupboard was bare, so to speak. I mean, we've got several pieces left over from last year's team, and we had a pretty solid JV, and there was a lot of ingredients there to cook with.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get anybody to apply.
Oh, I know. But after you're in this profession long enough, you understand why
Yes.
people don't apply.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people want to wear that coaching hat, but don't necessarily realize the amount of time and energy it takes.
I've been writing a mental book.
Okay.
Not really nothing, but what it takes to be the man.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be that
Yes.
guy until it's actually time
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
to do that. And
You
the
talking
not
about-
fun part.
You talking about the time part of it. My dad always had a saying, said, if you don't want to work, don't hire on. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a basketball coach, from November 1st to March whatever, that's your life, basically. I mean,
There's
you can't take off a Sunday if
No.
you got a game Monday
No, you're
because
right.
you're tired or you want to watch the football game or
or even this time of year with the Christmas tournament lining up. We have family Christmas on Sunday. Well, if we win Saturday, we play Monday. We've got.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
Easy.
Yeah.
We've got to. We got to cut our family Christmas short. And
Yeah.
go to practice.
Yep.
You've been coaching how many years? Count this year. It's a long.
Since 2008, so 17
17 years, 16,
17 years.
This is my 16th year. I've never had we get deer season off. Never had a deer season off. Never
Yeah.
had a Christmas break off. And, and that's the other thing. And everybody wants to get on coaches all the time. Coaches, they don't do anything. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Well, remember when you're sipping your pina colada on your winter beach vacation, I'm in here
even-
sweating in the gym.
Or even in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're playing the maximum allowable days you can play in the summer.
And you got to.
Yes, you have to.
You'd like to say, let's just not do summer, but you have to.
Yep.
When I was the head coach, it was year round, and there was 2 weeks. My summer vacation was 2 weeks where I was not at school. And that was, I'm cutting hay, baling hay all day, going to have an open gym 6 to 8, it's a lot, and I don't know that everybody realizes that.
Yeah.
Unless you're in it.
And if you want to be good, it takes what it takes.
Yes, if you want to be good, or you want to be not even be good, just be competitive.
Yeah.
Because I was taking teams that weren't very talented and playing the same amount in the summer, and and
dragging them to Branson,
Yes.
being scared to death of spending the night
gosh.
someplace that they're going to do something stupid.
I remember my Branson trip when I was in high school, and you're just terrified. So
Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of the coaching clinic, who was your favorite speaker that you listened to? Let's see if it's the same as Coach Epps and I's.
well, I know Coach Epps wasn't necessarily a fan of Coach Gates.
No, not at all.
I didn't necessarily mind it. I liked, was it the guy from Creighton? That had all the video stuff up.
Yeah.
You did not like that.
I thought he had some good stuff.
You did not like that. Don't lie.
I'm not lying.
You're being-
Who was your favorite?
Molly Miller.
Molly Miller?
It wasn't close. You weren't there.
I did
I'm
not
pretty
go.
sure you weren't there.
I did not go to Molly Miller.
That was the best one there.
Not meaning to selling you out or anything right there.
I saw her 4 or 5 years ago in Kansas City. We went, me and Chris Hahn went to Kansas City, that coaching clinic. She does really good stuff, man. Did she get the pool noodles out?
She didn't do the pull noodle, the measuring stick thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she does really, really.
What about Neighbors?
interesting
Did you see
stuff.
Neighbors?
I did see Neighbors. I like Mike Neighbors. That
Yeah.
was my favorite.
He's a good dude.
Now, here's my question. Do you really think that he remembered all 150 losses that were on that
We
paper?
talked about this.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to play cover up a little because, bless his heart, he ain't been having a very good couple years. The last couple years at Arkansas.
It's been rough.
It's been a little rough.
It's been rough.
But yeah, there ain't no way. Like, I didn't even remember. I lost to you. However long. And by the way, I did.
I
but
did,
it's
yeah.
6 points.
There you go.
52,
You checked it.
52 to 46. We had to have somebody out injured.
I hate to say it,
Dang
but
it.
it probably all came down to coaching.
Yeah. those close games,
Yeah.
you know it.
So
Just remember, box worked.
Yeah.
tore your clip
You still
on
run
off.
it?
Yes. Nobody guards this man, though.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And then I got another one that I stole from Jimmy that's like it,
Yeah.
but it ain't. It's a lot more moving parts.
That
But
box set, yes, I remember that. It's funny how you go through. I mean, that was 8 or 9 years ago, and there's certain games you can pick out sets, and you can pick out what
Yeah.
works and what doesn't.
was that a Tom Izzo?
no.
Okay, because
That
that's
is
the kind of
a-
stuff
I believe
I
that
love
is
the stuff
a-
he runs.
I think I stole that from Dexter, who stole that from like Brad Bosch from Bernie. They always used to have those backdoor lob plays
Man,
all
I'll
the
tell
time.
you, they used to run. Jordan McGowan, who's the coach now at South Pim, when he was in high school, they would run this set, and you could not guard it. They'd basically throw the ball, and he would pick which way he wanted to go. Like to the right was a elevator screen, and to the left he was a curl, and the guy would open up. I mean, it was just a nightmare.
I
An
remember
absolute
him playing.
nightmare.
It's like some people are like, I don't know if they could ever play or not. That dude was
Shoot it.
the vicious triple threat. I mean, no
He's
matter
good.
what, catch, shot, fake, they're gone. Boom, elevate, pow.
Yes.
He could play.
Yep.
Yes, and doing a great job coaching. I mean, it's at South Pim. He's done a really good job.
They played Riverside the other day.
Beat 'em.
They're struggling to find games and played a great game and won by 1. And I think that was South Pim's only their 3rd game of the year.
Yeah.
And Riverside's like 19th or something.
Yeah.
Arkansas is different. I wish Misha would kind of take a page out of the Arkansas
Especially
Oh,
the playoff
so,
thing.
yes.
We
Especially
we
the
talk
playoff
about
thing.
that all
yes.
the time.
playoffs, especially. You know, my brother played at Bell City in '08 with Nick Nimchek and another kid named Philip Gross. It was really good, and they were top 10 all year, and Scott Central was top 10 all year. They met in the sectional game.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Yeah.
and Scott Central, I mean, beat them, but then they rolled through everybody, and you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
it
like
could be.
Sykeston and Cape Central a couple years ago.
Yeah, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
that happens all the time too. Eminence in Dora
Yep.
Yes.
That was the year you were at Eminence. And, Yeah.
Did you guys happen to watch the Sykes and Cape Central game, the SEMO Conference Championship?
No, I didn't, did you watch it?
Oh, yeah. Sykeston is the
real
deal.
Yeah.
Like, I watched Cape Central the week before. I'll tell you, this huddle and streaming now,
Isn't
if
it?
you've got a Saturday, you can find something to watch. Anyway, I watched Cape Central was in the DeSoto tournament. I'm like, there is no way anybody can beat these guys. I had big kid drop stepping and dunking and all this. And then the following week, Sykeston just comes out and just steamrolls them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable the amount of athleticism that both teams have.
Coach Holyfield used to be a man-to-man guy.
Yes.
I mean, it's
It's gone zone now.
guns on.
I am a big zone guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
good God. Here we go with the zone.
Yeah, I mean, I am. I can't help it.
Yeah, if it works, gotta do it works.
Yeah.
I just
Yep.
can't.
Why? What's your issue? I know we have a script. Are we just
No.
No. We just no. Don't worry about the script.
Because there is such a thing as individual responsibility. And on a zone, I feel like, and maybe I just stink at teaching zone, which I think it's probably pretty easy to teach, just stand there. But there's always somebody don't want to do anything. There's always somebody that's just loafing around or doing that. And I don't know. I just like it. I'm guarding you. You can't beat me. Let's go.
mano a mano?
That's what I like. And I mean, we're going to help. We got a lot of help, and
Yes.
all that's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be there. But you better
Yeah.
be able to guard your yard a little bit. Otherwise, you don't need to be out there.
Well, I just, for me, when it comes to zone, I feel like, number one, kids don't know how to play basketball anymore on both sides of the basketball. They don't play pickup. When they do play pickup, they don't keep score. They're not knocking anybody in the dirt.
That you hit the
Don't keep
nail
score.
right on the head.
They
don't keep score.
They don't.
I mean, why would you play? I wouldn't even play marbles if we weren't keeping score.
Well, and I think, I don't know, because when I was growing up, everyone likes to say, they talk about this, everyone gets a trophy. Well, I was on, I guess, the kind of the beginning of that. We, our coach pitch team or whatever, we were awful, but we all got a participation trophy.
Yeah.
But I'm still competitive. I'll flip a Monopoly board over. I don't.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of that is bred into you.
Yep.
And I don't know as far as the competition part, but I'm the same way. Like, we played pickup in high school, and if you didn't win, you sat. And
Yeah.
you sat for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's none of that anymore. Anyway, so kids, I don't think kids understand the game like they used to. I think with a zone, if you teach your zone, like foot in the paint zone, I don't like that, where you just stand and mirror the ball. I think you can play a zone with man-to-man principles, and it worked really well. Yeah. And it worked really well for us the past 2 or 3
you've
years.
also heard, like, if you play a zone really good, it looks like man. And if you play man really good, it looks like zone.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
We were playing those guys today, and they couldn't tell what we were playing. Of course,
Right.
bless their heart, not a lot of basketball IQ,
Right.
but they couldn't tell if
Yeah.
it was zone or man. But, I do think I used to try to do too many defenses.
And I think that's a pitfall a lot of coaches fall into is trying everything. I think you need to have 2 or 3 things you're good at.
Yep.
And then something that I call a hand grenade, that it's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to pull that pin.
Well, and you only know that by making mistakes
Oh, yeah,
at other places. And then you go somewhere
Yes.
else and like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing this from now on.
Yes.
Better mention our sponsors
Yep.
again.
JDM Fitness.
New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolution starts January 6th.
That's right.
So,
No
Yeah.
better way than
Yeah.
to.
Jimmy, I'm expecting you to get whipped into shape.
Yeah.
I would like to see it.
Well, there's a couple problems. There's one problem with that workout for me.
Why?
The working out.
Yeah. Besides that, of course, she also does them where she records them, so you don't have to get up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, live
Except for-
or
Holy
live
cow,
or
the
recorded
live sessions
class
at 5 in the
options.
Yeah,
morning.
and
And
she
there's a
has-
lot of people
oh,
that do
yeah,
it.
there- yeah, there's a lot of people that do it.
Let the chickens out. Get 2 or 3 sets in.
There
Yep.
you go.
Don't
There
need no equipment either. No equipment.
No equipment
Just
needed.
get your headband, and
You
your
don't-
leotard on, and let's
you don't
go.
have to have a leotard or a headband, I don't think.
Is it recommended though?
Probably.
Probably recommended. Highly recommended.
Yeah.
From the Ball Beards and Bucks podcast.
Yes,
Ball, right?
yes.
Highly
got it
recommend.
right.
Ball, bucks, and beards.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Well,
get
I
it
was
right.
close.
But
It's
yeah,
all the words.
Yeah.
give JDM Fitness a try. There's a bunch of people doing it, and I think you'll enjoy it and get a lot out of it. So
And by the way, some people do. You ever see these guys that do like, these baseball sheds? Come to me and I'll charge you $50 an hour and I'll hit you grounders.
Personal trainer.
Yeah. There's some of those people that look like, did they ever play ever? Like, and you know some. I know some. I'm like, I don't know if they ever.
Yeah.
And like, she's the real deal. Like,
yeah,
she's so in shape. I'm worried. Like,
yeah.
so hit her up. She'll get you whipped into shape.
So we got to hear some. You got a Jeff Walk story. I know. You probably got
kind
100.
of put me on the spot.
You got 100, but
To do with what?
well, let's see. Give us a
do.
Jeff Walk.
Okay,
You got a Jeff Walk hunting story?
This is where we get into a pickle because you can't tell everything.
Okay, so I do have a Jeff Walk
Okay.
basketball story, though.
Okay, yeah.
So they're playing, and I can't even remember what game it was or when it was, but it was a tight game, and he had this player, and she wasn't doing exactly what he wanted her to do. So he calls timeout. He either calls timeout or subs around. He goes down and gets a cup of water. He walks down to her. He said, "This is magic water." She goes, "Magic water?" He said, "Yes, it'll help you pull your head out of your butt. You need to drink it." She drank it and he threw her back in.
She drank it.
It always used to be funny. Of course, we've always been buddies. We kind of went to college together and started about the same time. But of course, most of the time I was a Dolphin, ended up between us and Twin Rivers.
Oh,
usually.
yes, yeah.
So we had some real battles, but of course, when they threw the ball up, we'd compete like madmen. But like, you know how coaches make up stuff about other coaches.
What are you talking about?
You know, like you'll tell your team, well, you can't believe what so-and-so
Right,
said.
yes,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
We'll go to a seating meeting.
That's all the truth.
Coach Walk and Jeff did that too.
Time out.
Okay, what?
When you go to a meeting that they're going to seed the teams, what do you call it?
It's a seed meeting.
All right, conversation over. Continue.
Well, so you know, when you go to a meeting, you're looking for stuff to motivate your team.
Right, yes.
So Coach Jeff and I'd both do the same thing. I'm sure he'd go tell his kids, well, you know what Coach Blackwell said. He said they're going to just, and
Right,
I'd be telling mine, you know what Coach Walk said? He said that they're going to beat us by 20 and whatever, and we can't play or whatever. And we both did the same thing. But we'd show up at a tournament game or something, and Jeff and I'd be up there eating popcorn together, watching the game, just laughing and having a good time. And my girls would be mad at me. They'd be like, I thought you didn't like Coach Walk. I'm like, no, I love Coach Walk. Well, he said all this about us. And I'm like, he didn't really say that. Jeff didn't
Told
say
them that?
Yeah.
You told them that?
Later.
I got to Donovan and was like, we'd go to a game, Christmas tournament, like this week. There'd be look over and there's some of them sitting by like Naylor and stuff. And I'm like, just kind of give them a stink eye and just keep walking. And then like, what's the deal? Because like, I don't know. I never seen anybody want to be buddies with the other team. I said,
Yeah.
maybe that's just your generation. I just can't handle that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. And pretty soon, by the end of it, one of them, they used to be like good buddies. And I had this one guard her, and well, the other one, she lit her up or whatever. And I said, no, you can't guard her no more. You guys are too good of friends. I'm going to have to go. We'll have to find somebody else to guard her. She went home, told her dad, who was the principal, and she was so mad. She guarded her next time. She scored 0 points and was averaging like 20. She blocked her on Snapchat, Facebook. I think they're still not friends to this day. So I'm sorry. It's okay to be friends later, but yeah, that's that competitive thing.
Well, just when the ball, when the ball goes up.
When I throw the ball up,
goes
you have
up.
no friends.
That's right.
That's true. That's
Jeff
good.
and I, another Jeff Walk and Jimbo Blackwell story, we played on an intramural basketball team at SEMO. And we were playing this one team we didn't like very well. And all I remember is about 30 minutes after the game, we had a rendezvous time to meet the other team at Arena Park to duke it out. And
Did they show up?
I'm not sure we showed up. I don't know. I can't remember how it went.
Joke was on them, huh?
Suckers.
Yeah.
Do you got anything good? You got to have some. When you want to talk about anything good? You got any funny things or
Like as far as what? I've
anything?
got some
basketball.
stories.
You had to bring something prepared today.
I did. You guys told me to bring some basketball stories, and I thought long and hard, and then I come up with a couple. So first one is I was at Puxico and had this little bitty guy, junior high, really, really good defensive player. And I told him, I said, Anthony, I said, you really get into this kid tonight. And I said, if he says anything to you, he says, I want you to growl at him, be mean to him.
Yeah.
And he's just following this kid, just a water bug, following this kid around. The kid turns around and goes, get off me. He just goes, his face. Oh man, it's funny. You do this as long as we've all done it. You get a lot of those little stories that make the day go by better.
Yeah.
Playing Twin Rivers a couple years ago, and it was when we were just finally starting to kind of climb and get over that hill, and it was at our place. And we're I'm coaching. Me and Coach McBroom, who was there at the time, are really, really good friends, and we talk 2 or 3 times a week until kind of that
fixing
we,
the play.
and then you kind of get that separation anyway. So we're playing and we're up and we're flying around and they have the ball and I look down and McBroom's doing this. Well, I didn't know what that was, but I wanted him to think I knew what that was. So I'm like screaming. I'm like, they're running wavy hand. They're running wavy, and I'm like running down the floor, and I'm pointing. I'm like, he's going, and I didn't know what was going on. I just
Running wavy hand.
made it up. Little stuff like that. Like, it's a job, but it's one of those things I can't see myself doing anything else. I've really, really enjoy a lot of the aspects of it.
We were talking about that today, and about the Dons win like last night. Dilbeck's probably pretty high. He's like, basketball coaching, the highs are so high, and the lows are. Mm-hmm. There's nothing worse, almost.
No, you're right. I mean, it's game to game, and it's week to week. But I'll tell you, the most stressful seasons I've ever had were when we were good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the high is shorter. It's. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's twice.
That's a telemarketer. You want to answer it?
No.
It's one of those deals where it's on to the next game. Like, we win 10 minutes, that's great. Handshake line, great. Everything's happy in the locker room. As soon as you hit that door, it's, well, we play Thursday.
Yep.
What are we going to do Thursday?
Yep.
How are we going to, and just like you guys are 6-0 right now. Well, that's a whole nother added layer of pressure, is being undefeated and trying to play well and not get complacent and not fall into bad habits.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
I think the underdog is everybody's hero, and I think that's the easiest thing to be, is the underdog.
Yeah,
Like,
there's no
pressure.
No pressure. You're not supposed to win. You just go out there and compete.
Yeah.
That's something that I've always tried to preach.
Well, in those last couple years at Greenville, where you guys were really stinking good, it's hard when everybody has Greenville circled on the schedule, and you're going to get everybody's best shot every single night. And hats off to the kids when they come out there and they do what they're supposed to do, and they perform in that type of pressure environment.
Yeah, and especially on the road,
When you're going to get all the little schemes and
Yes.
tricks,
Yeah.
and Uncle Ned is the ref, and
we played an absolute nail biter, last year at Neelyville. I mean, and they're a team. They're a team on the rise too, and they were like we were, trying to climb that hill, and we got their best shot, and when we didn't play very well, and a lot of that was due to them and their game plan, and you find a way to win, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat.
and then you get some of these other jokers.
Yeah.
Like when you start doing good, you guys don't play anybody any good.
Yeah.
You guys don't play. Your schedule's not very tough.
Right.
You won 20 games this year. You won 18 games this year. You're gonna have to beef up your schedules.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that stuff gets old. That
Yeah.
stuff gets old after a while, and you're like, well, you beef it up and you beef it up and you beef it up and you beef it up, and they're like, I don't. You guys don't play anybody. It's like, did you see the schedule? What it looked like 6 years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the public doesn't realize the amount of work it goes into scheduling games and finding dates and finding people that want to play you, because when you get good,
Yeah.
the phone quits ringing.
Yeah.
You know, there was a time at Greenville where we were everybody's homecoming game.
Yep.
You know, and that stops pretty quick, and then everyone, you know, you can't find a date, or you know.
And if you do, it's 4 hours north
Yeah.
or 4
Yes.
hours west
Yep.
to get somebody.
Well, that's just like us.
competitive.
You know, last Christmas, you know, we weren't in a Christmas tournament over Christmas break, and we drove to Hartville
Yeah.
and took our medicine. But I mean, I wanted us playing, and I wanted us to see good competition, and Brett, you know, worked us over. But I mean, it was an all-day trip.
Yeah.
You know, we left at 9 and got back at 11. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's
And that's
tough.
hard for an athlete to be on a bus for 3 or 4 hours
Oh,
and then
yeah.
get out and play that
Yes.
same day.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard. Absolutely.
Let's talk a little hunting.
Yeah,
Do you have a good deer season?
we did not.
Well, join the rest of the crew
I
in Ripley County.
read an article. I guess the kill was down 30,000 opening weekend.
No, total. For the total season, it was almost 34,000 for deer season,
Oh, was it? I didn't know if it was the first.
which is
weekend or total.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Which I think. I mean, around here, I mean, I think the weather and the moon and the rut.
The moon ain't got nothing to do
Yeah,
with it. Have you done any
full
of the?
moon. Tell him full moon.
Full moon.
Yeah, ain't gonna see deer during full moon.
You don't.
are you?
No, they're not going to come to the corn pile on full
Don't
moon
have deer.
during rifle season.
For the last
guys.
time, there is
They're-
no corn piles at the Double F. Okay, for the last time.
You need to look at all these guys that got the collared deer research, and there's several of them. It ain't just like
It's
one
tame
university.
deer. You can't-
They're not tame deer; they're wild deer.
They're collared.
Yeah, but they've been shot with a tranquilizer and given a collar.
Well,
listen,
then why?
They said there's no correlation.
Why does every
Zero.
you
None. Correlation's
Every-
a big word, I know, but
every hunting actual expert you talk to believes the same as I do about the full moon.
we do.
As we
Yeah.
do about the full moon.
We've killed more deer than blue tongue. I just want you to know that.
oh my
I'm gonna use that one. I like that one. I'm using
No,
that one.
it was one of those deals. We have some game cameras out, and all of our deer were moving at night. I've got a pretty good spot. It's just up from Mingo. There's a rock point and another ridge that kind of come off down into a draw that I sit at. And my neighbors had a really good deer season because they travel off the neighbors and come down this draw and then go down to Mingo. Well, they were cutting my deer off.
Gotcha.
So I didn't have a very good deer season. Got home Sunday. We camp. We stay out at the farm and camp, and we have a cabin. I shouldn't say camp. Anyway, I get home and I do some stuff for my wife because I was gone for 3 days. You know, to make up for the fact that I wasn't at home for her to yell at me and clean the gutters.
Is she watching this?
I probably. She can't deny it. So it's like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm, you know, and she goes, "Oh, are you gonna go out and hunt? Because where we live is out kind of by Mark Twain National Forest. Actually, our ground backs up to Mark Twain." I'm like, "Well, I can't go out there now. It's 4:45. By the time I get out there, shooting hours will be over." My youngest daughter comes in the house and goes, "Dad, there's 9 deer in the front yard." So I'm like, "Okay."
Get the gun.
Okay.
Grabbed a deer rifle, took a rest off the gate, and shot one at about 60 yards, and fun was over. Now, I got meat, but I didn't, you know, you didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sitting out there and hearing them, and
Yeah.
you know, it was just like picking a hog out of the hog barn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the extent of
You,
my deer
I
season.
guess you got hogs on your.
We do. There was some sign that looked like maybe one, but you know, last summer I think we trapped or had the USDA come out and trap 15 or 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of comes and goes. What we did to kind of combat that was we have cattle. We ran a hot wire about a foot off the ground, and it really stopped a lot of our hog.
Did they
issues.
bring those traps out there?
They did. Yeah,
They're pretty effective. Where they go in and it just drops.
Well, it's connected to their phone, and they'll get an alert, and they'll see the hogs are in there, and then they'll just hit the button, and the trap drops.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Walk out there and shoot them. Now, last year, Tyler Smith, the baseball coach at Three Rivers, he hunts with us also, and we've got a little spot that is along the Mingo fence, and he's there leaned against a tree, and we're all sitting here, bang. Bang, 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 bang. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We go out there, and I guess somebody had pushed some hogs up on him, and was probably the one he killed was coming right at him, and he got it killed probably 20 feet from him.
That's one thing I would not want to meet in the dark
No.
or in the
No.
daytime.
No, absolutely not.
Did I ever tell you my South Carolina hog story?
Probably, but go ahead and tell it again.
Well, so Bo and I are deer hunting and hog hunting in South Carolina. And this one morning, our guide says, all right, I'm going to have you hunt hogs this morning. So he takes me to this place and drops me off the edge of this field. And he says, now, there's lots of hogs in these woods here. I don't remember what he called it. He said, anyway, you're box blind. He said, go in there about 80 yards, and it'll be just right off to your left. Just walk straight 80 yards right off to your left. Well, of course, the first thing I did is went in there and got lost. I mean,
I hate directions like that. I hate directions like that.
45 seconds later, I'm lost. I'm like, oh, crap, I'm lost. You know, he's already given us to talk about rattlesnakes.
Oh, God.
You know, and so I'm in a sheer panic anyway. So I'm like, crap, I'm lost. Just stand here against this tree till it gets daylight. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing the hogs. I just dropped my cell phone the night before, and I had no cell phone. The guy's going to pick me up at 10 o'clock. Like, I'm going to get gored by a hog right here, and, you know, they'll pick me up at 10 o'clock, you know.
We got drawn out for a muzzleloader hunt on Mingo.
This
about
year?
6 or 7 years ago. Me and my dad were just kind of walking out, and actually we were walking out to eat lunch, and we're talking, whatever, and this hog just runs by us. I'm like, shoot, there's a hog, Dad. He goes, well, kill it. So I shoot it, and I hit it. It kind of spins around and runs off. So I reload, and he goes, well, let's go. I'm like, let's go find that hog.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So and it's a bunch of cypress knees, and I'm, shin deep in water, and I come around, and I see this hog, and I hit it in the back, and it's sitting like a dog would sit, like you tell a dog that, with its butt in the water.
Yeah.
I'm like, there it is. So pull the hammer back on the muzzle loader, and I pull right down on the back of its head and shoot, and hair flies, and it runs off. I'm like, oh, man. So I'm like, reload, and there was like a big brush pile, and my dad goes around this way, and I go around this way. I'm like, this probably wasn't the best idea with
This heck of muzzle loader.
Yeah.
So we finally get around there and shoot it. But man, yeah, that was fun. Like it was different. Like I don't want to be put in that position ever again.
Yeah.
But it was a trip.
Yeah.
Well, I killed a hog from that same day from that box blind, and there was like 15 or 20 hogs came up, and I picked out a kind of a littler one.
Yeah.
I shoot, drop the hog. The other hogs run off, so I just sit there for a little bit. About 5 minutes later, here comes the hogs back, trying to eat the hog.
Really?
Yes, that's a true story.
What time are we at?
Oh, boy. How about 59 minutes? Congratulations, you have just been a part of the longest.
That's a quick hour.
Yeah, that was a quick hour. I do got a question. We got a question submitted.
Oh, boy.
This question comes from Chet.
Oh, my gosh.
Is it true, this is to you,
Okay.
is it true your mom still came in the locker room before games to tie your shoes when you were in 8th grade?
No, Chet, that is not true. It wasn't
there's
8th
gotta
grade.
be
It
some
wasn't
truth to
5th
it.
grade. Wasn't 6th. No, that's
There's got to be some truth
that
to
is
this.
strictly rumor. That's strictly rumor.
So your mom did come in the locker
No,
room
my
and tell
mom
you.
did not come in
Never?
a lot. No,
Your mom never went in the locker room.
no.
Well, somebody ain't telling the truth, Jimmy.
Hey, maybe she had time before the game, before the line.
That's terrible. Well, this is our Christmas episode, so Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Won't see
Christmas.
us
Merry Christmas.
probably for a while, but
Stay safe.
give JDM Fitness a shout out. Get on their January class. You still got time to sign up for that. But for Jimbo Blackwell and Nathan Walk, I'm Adam Epps. This is Ball Bucks and Beards. We're out of here. See y'all.
See ya.
There you go.